Good morning, and thank you for taking the time to hear about Maverix today. My name is Ryan McIntyre, and I'm the president of Maverix, and I look forward to taking you through this brief presentation. We'll start off with a quick snapshot of Maverix. Maverix is a gold royalty company with a market cap of $700 million and has 115 royalties and streams, 13 of which are currently paying. In our most recently reported quarter, we had record revenue of $15 million, derived almost exclusively from gold and silver, and had cash margins of 90%. Maverix was launched 4.5 years ago, and over that time we have done 11 separate transactions to acquire our portfolio of royalties and streams. The most notable transactions to date have involved some of the largest companies in the sector, such as Pan American Silver, Gold Fields, NEWMONT, and Kinross, where we have been able to daylight value for their royalty portfolios, largely in exchange for equity in Maverix. The most recent transaction was the purchase of 10 gold royalties from NEWMONT for net upfront consideration of $73.5 million, which was substantially in the form of Maverix equity, and NEWMONT's ownership in Maverix therefore increased from 23% to 30%. The 10 royalties can be broken down into two parts. The first part is the top 5 royalties listed on this page, from Camino Rojo to Ana Paula, which all have technical and economic studies on their respective projects. The second part of the portfolio is the bottom 5 royalties listed, which are all in the exploration stage. We closed the NEWMONT portfolio acquisition in late October, and we have already had some positive announcements this year related to the Camino Rojo and Cerro Blanco royalties. Orla, which is the operator of Camino Rojo, announced that reserves for the project have increased by 54% and that reserve life is now over 10 years. Construction is currently ongoing, and we will be getting 2,000 GEOs per year starting in Q4 2021, which is when production is slated to start. Additionally, Bluestone, which is the operator of Cerro Blanco, have been releasing some great drill results from their 2020 drill program, and they are now incorporating these results in a new resource that will be updated along with a new mine plan in the first half of 2021. Current indications are that the annual production level will be similar to the previously released feasibility study, but that the mine life will be longer than the 8 years derived from current reserves. Financing for the project is also targeted for the first half of 2021, and Maverix expects to receive 1,200 GEOs per year once the project is in production. A couple of weeks ago, we announced our gold equivalent ounces sold for Q4 and our guidance for 2021. We had another record quarter with 8,800 GEOs sold, and also a record year with almost 29,000 GEOs sold, which exceeded our guidance for the year. 2021 should be another strong year, notwithstanding a slightly lower GEO contribution from our Hope Bay royalty, given the royalty has been reduced from 2.5% to 1%, given Agnico Eagle's payment to us of $50 million cash to exercise its right of first refusal upon completion of its acquisition of TMAC resources. The Hope Bay mine is now in great hands with Agnico's extensive operating experience in Nunavut, and it plans to ramp up property-wide exploration in 2021 and has already stated that it sees potential for the asset to be a 250,000 to 300,000 ounce per year operation, which is 3 to 4 times the run rate of production expected in 2021. We used part of the proceeds received from the royalty buyback transaction with Agnico to repay the outstanding amount on the company's revolving credit facility, and Maverix is now debt-free and has $50 million of cash and marketable securities on its balance sheet. Given our strong financial position, we'll be looking more closely at our capital allocation options between retaining capital for buying new royalties and streams and potentially augmenting our dividend, which currently stands at 1 cent per share per quarter. Our board and management team remain very similar to this time last year, but I would note that Tara Hassan, who is currently the VP of Corporate Development at Silvercrest, has joined the board at the end of 2020, and we've also strengthened our in-house technical team with the addition of Diego Arrow, who's previously worked with Capstone in Kinross. Looking at the portfolio, we are now sitting with over 100 royalties, 13 of which are cash flowing, and predominantly in historic and stable mining jurisdictions. For 2021, we expect to receive approximately 70% of our revenue from North America and Australia. You may also notice on this page several blue dots, which represent development stage assets that Maverix has a royalty interest on. Particularly of note is the significant growth exposure Maverix has to the western United States, predominantly Nevada. Turning to page 10, we look at Maverix's attributable production beginning from 2016. This certainly shows a meaningful track record of growth, and we expect that growth to continue going forward from adding new royalties and streams to the portfolio, but also organically. At these higher gold prices, we are beginning to see an increase in projects being advanced, and Maverix's portfolio has an interest in over 100 royalties that are being moved along in all phases from exploration through to construction. As previously mentioned, Camino Rojo will begin producing in Q4 of 2021 and should deliver 2,000 GEOs per year once it's up and running. Cerro Blanco should follow a year or so later at 1,200 GEOs per year attributable to Maverix. Then there's the potential restart of the Silvertip mine, which could deliver 3,500 GEOs per year to Maverix, and the shovel-ready Gemfield project in Nevada that would add approximately 6,000 GEOs per year to Maverix's account. Page 11 quickly highlights that not only has Maverix grown on an absolute basis, but we've also grown on a per-share level, which is what management is really focused on. Management and insiders currently own 8% of the company, so these per-share metrics are very important to us as owners. Now this slide gives you an idea of some of the logical steps that we see as opportunities to further unlock value for Maverix's shareholders. I've already spoken a bit about some of the near-term organic growth opportunities already embedded within Maverix, and we also have many more moving forward in the background. In addition, we continue to be very active looking at new royalty and stream acquisition opportunities. There is certainly more competition in the royalty space, but there are also more deals to be had as well. Our strategy remains the same, so you can sleep at night knowing that we are not going to do something unusual with investors' money or bet the company on one transaction. One big difference from this time last year is Maverix's trading liquidity, which is up substantially from this conference last year. We are currently not part of any index or ETF, but as of February 28th, we meet all the criteria to be considered for inclusion in the GDXJ ETF. In conclusion, Maverix has a very straightforward strategy. We are building a strong, diversified, cash-generating company with strong margins and significant exposure to precious metals through royalties and streams. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at info@maverixmetals.com or follow us at Maverix Metals on Twitter or visit our website at maverixmetals.com. Thank you very much for your time and have a great conference.